Izzy and I and Jason, we teach him also, we're very big on respect and courtesy and being courteous of others around you. Whenever we're doing something, we're always thinking, how is this going to affect somebody else's experience?
Right. Hey guys, Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. So if you watch our channel, we make it very clear, we don't hide that we love camping full hookups. We don't camp, we RV, okay? We like our full hookups, but from time to time, we actually do kind of off the grid a bit.
Right. Now, a lot of people discuss these things that we're going to talk about, maybe some different, and it seems like common sense, but it seems today common sense is lacking in a lot of places.
It's a commodity, kind of like cryptocurrency. There's only a limited amount out there.
Right. So the more we can help spread the word, the better it is.
But before we go any further, this video is sponsored by Liquid Spring. Now, if you are looking to upgrade the suspension of your Class A, B, C, or Super C motorhome, Liquid Spring is the absolute best you can buy. We recently had Nelly, our motorhome, fully upgraded with the 4-corner system. It is a game changer.
It's phenomenal. It is a factory option for Tiffin, Fleetwood, and Holiday Rambler. If you are interested, you can use the code RIDEENDLESSLY, which is below. You'll save up to $750 off a new Liquid Spring system.
Now, if you want to know exactly like what the system is, how much it costs, if you want to test drive a demo vehicle, which we really encourage you to do that, because if you do, you're probably going to buy one. Contact Wayne Wells. His information will be below. And again, if you're looking just for the very best, if you're that person that you want the best, Liquid Spring is the best suspension system on the market.
So in today's video, we are going to talk about how we respectfully boondock when we stop overnight at a place with no hookups.
So you may be asking yourself, you guys just said you love full hookups. What is this important? So we're breaking this video down into 3, I guess, different sections. The first one's going to be the reasons why.
So the reasons why we and many others boondock, again, depending on what your vocabulary is and how you use the word boondock. But for us, it's a short stop for travel. We recently took a trip out to Indiana. We weren't going to do that in one day. We've learned our lesson. So we stopped one night at a Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel was the first one. Yeah. So it was perfect, right? Out the next morning. So it's a perfect short stop. The next thing is it's free, right? So you don't have to call ahead to make reservations. Okay, we'll get to the etiquette of boondocking in a minute, but it's free.
The next thing for some people, it's a sense of adventure. So you're in the middle of nowhere, you're roughing it, although you're really not if you're in a motorhome. But for some people, I know MJ likes that, right?
I do, I enjoy it.
And then the last thing, and there's many other ones, but we got limited time here, is safety, right? So a lot of these places we're gonna mention, they're well lit, they're populated. It's not the same for every place, and we're going to talk about that, but there's a certain sense of safety in numbers. So let's move on to the second part of this video, is like, where do you stay?
Right, so places. You probably won't find us out in the middle of BLM land, at least not now. Until
it doesn't exist on the East Coast.
Right, so we take full advantage when we do this of Cracker Barrels. We do Cabela's, which we love, Walmart's, and truck stops, truck rest stops. You have to be really careful because in terms of respect, right? If they have a designated RV area, that's one thing. We really wouldn't want to take up truck spots.
Yeah, because they actually need them, right? They have to rest. They're mandated. So if you have a bunch of RVers coming in, the more it's rude and it's going to piss them off. So a lot of rest stops will have a dedicated RV area. So MJ mentioned a couple different places, and those are not the only ones, right? You have the Harvest Host, even though that's not really free, but Boondockers Welcome is another one that's free. Some Home Depots, Lowe's, strip malls, they're all, dependent part of the country, there's many out there. This video is to cover really all of them, which we're going to move into the third part. Really the most important is the etiquette.
And if you've watched our previous videos, we actually did a recent video on campground etiquette. We'll link that up above. Izzy and I and Jason, we teach him also, we're very big on respect and courtesy and being courteous of others around you. So whenever we're doing something, we're always thinking, how is this going to affect somebody else's experience.
Right. All right, so we're going to start with the things that you absolutely 100% should be doing. The first thing is call ahead. What we mean by that is make sure that you can stay there, and the easiest way to do that is just call the business, right? So when we stopped at the Cracker Barrel, prior to even going there, I called that Cracker Barrel, not like the Cracker Barrel in California, the actual Cracker Barrel we're staying at, and I asked them, do you have RV parking overnight? Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Cool, so now we know that we can stay there.
Right. The second thing is is, bouncing off what I just said, is that we are always quiet, clean, and courteous. So those three things, we're aware if we have neighbors that we're keeping our volume of whatever down. We're gonna keep our area very clean, and we're courteous again of whatever we're doing. We're not, Jason's not, screaming TikTok videos or something else like that. We're going to be courteous of everybody in our surrounding area.
Here is a little tidbit for those of you that may not understand this. If you get to a place, you should always leave it cleaner than when you got there, right? So if there's garbage that was there before, pick it up, right? Unless it's like somebody's vomit or something, then don't pick that up. That's like a hazard, but like pick up after yourself. So the next thing is gonna be use the designated parking spaces. And we've seen this, right? So if like a Cracker Barrel, for example, most of them have designated RV spots. Or when you call ahead and you speak to the manager, they'll say, go park wherever. Now, it may be like car spots, but that's designated for RV. So don't be that person that slaps their RV going across the front of the Cracker Barrel, so the patrons now have to, walk. That's not cool. Don't do that. So just use a little common sense. Park where you're supposed to park.
All right, the next one is to patron the business. Now, I know this is big at Harvest Hosts and places like that, but whenever we stay at Cracker Barrel, we'll let Jason go and get his meals there. Cabela's, we bought some things. So just kind of showing another sign of respect. Thank you for letting us stay here.
Right, here's a little surprise. I have a general feeling that these businesses do this so they can get business. I don't think they're in the business of just letting you park there. Like, their hope is that you're gonna go in and you're gonna spend money, right? So patron them.
Yep.
The next thing is gonna be clean up after your pets. I don't even know why this has to be a thing, but apparently it does. I know a lot of these places like Cabela's certainly and Cracker Barrel, they actually have poop bags, right? So I guess it's necessary to tell people to pick up and provide the bags to pick up the poop. So this should even have to be explained.
Right, and if people are not doing this at campgrounds, they sure as hell aren't doing it at boondocking spots. So again, maybe if you're listening and you haven't been, it's time to make a change.
All right, so we're gonna talk about now some of the things that you should not do if you are going to be staying overnight somewhere for free. The first one is if you have to run your generator, and we do run our generator because our motorhome is hungry and we can't run certain things unless we run our generator. But if you do run your generator, two things. Number one, have an inverter generator, right? Now, this is not really for the clean energy portion, the clean power portion. This is really for the sound, right? So if you have an onboard generator like we do, it's pretty quiet. Or if you have one of those portable Hondas, what we're trying to say is don't pull out your 8,000 watt Generac that you have on the back of your F350 that you use at home that blows up the whole parking lot with noise. That is just ridiculous. That is not cool. Do not do that. And even if you have an inverter generator, cut it off at a certain time. We usually cut ours off 9 o'clock, 9:30. One of the big reasons why we upgraded our electrical system is because we're now able to kind of go through the night. So just use a little common sense. Don't run the thing all night. Please don't do that. Just cut it off at a decent amount and use it only when you need to.
Right. Next thing is don't open your slides. There's a caveat though. It really depends where you are, all right? So we have stayed in many Cracker Barrels. Those spots, if you stayed there, are tight. They're narrow.
There's not many.
There's not a lot of them. You have bus lanes there, there's bus, there's just not a lot of space. So you really don't have room to do that. If you do, you're gonna be in somebody else's spot. So again, it's a courtesy thing. When we stayed at Cabela's, on the other hand, it is an enormous parking lot, and you can have tons of RVs, and pretty much everybody had at least a slide open.
Yeah, and you had 15 spots in between. It really wasn't an issue.
So it depends highly on where you are.
Yeah, but if you go to Cabela's, for example, and for whatever reason there's 500 RVs in there, then if it's not practical to open your slide, then don't open your slide.
Right.
So you just got to use some common sense. All right, the next thing is you're there as a temporary guest, so don't set up camp. And what do we mean by this? You don't need to put your outside entertainment system, your Ozzy Osbourne or whatever you listen to. I'm just saying that because we had the campground when they were doing the Ozzy Osbourne singing, whatever.
Don't break out your dog pens. And,
yes, don't set up dog pens, awnings out, lights, UFC
carpets.
fight, the grill. You know what I'm saying? Like the bonfire. Don't do that. You're there temporarily, so you really, the only thing people should see is like your RV, not everything that's in the RV that you have set up.
All right, next thing is don't take like a week's vacation there. You know, it's not like Cabela's resort, so you don't want to pull in on a Friday and spend a week and pull out the next Friday, right? It's like a 1 or maybe 2 night stop if necessary.
That's pushing it.
It is.
So basically what MJ is trying to say is that your vacation should not revolve around the parking lot you're staying in, right? Like, so that shouldn't be the home base. So we shouldn't go down to the Jersey Shore and then stay at a Cracker Barrel and be going to the beach every day because from the Cracker Barrel, like that's insane. Don't do that. So just again, a little courtesy. Probably the most important thing, and I can't believe I have to say this, but I guess it's necessary because we've seen these on forums. We haven't seen it in person. Don't dump your tanks where you're staying, right? Has anybody ever watched Christmas Vacation when Cousin Eddie dumps in the sewer? Don't do that.
Don't be Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, well, Cousin, yeah. Don't dump your gray tank, your freshwater tank, your black tank, and anything other.
Could you imagine? Somebody really do that? Would somebody?
I would imagine, yeah, people do that.
Have you
people
done
suck.
that, guys? Have
They'll
you dumped your black tank?
So there are some places that actually have black tank dumps. If that's the case, then dump at the black tank dump, right? So some rest stops, we know Ohio, we love their rest stops. They have like dumps and potable water and all that stuff. Like they charge, it's like $10. But like Cabela's, I think it's $5 and you can dump and you can fill your tank, whatever. That's appropriate. But if you feel it's necessary to dump your tanks, dump them at your own house, right? Dump them on your own lawn or wherever you live. Don't do that at one of these places of business.
So put in the comments below, what do you do to be a respectful boondocker?
And also we want to know, what have you seen some crazy stuff that people have done? Now, we haven't had the opportunity to go out to BLM land. I'm sure when people are not around, people that stay there tend to do like, things they shouldn't be doing. So put all that in the comments below.
And spill it.
And for myself and MJ, we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the road.